welcome to another edition of Discover Britain. Now, you're probably used to us going around the UK showing you all that you can see and do, but we want to give a show with a difference this week. We thought that we would like to show you the backbone of Britain. Yes, that's business, and that actually comes in all different varieties and forms. We all know how difficult lockdown has been for business, but how are they surviving? How are they changing? And how is business evolving in Great Britain? So one of the big changes that we saw, particularly myself, after lockdown, was that the way people were doing business. In fact, I think actually quite a few people enjoyed working from home and almost were like being their own boss. That then meant that they actually didn't go back to their employment and decided to go out on their own. But business, it can be a minefield. Now, some of those businesses that set up after lockdown have been successful, others not. But maybe you're considering it. So how do you wade through this little minefield? Well, one way is franchising. Have you ever considered it? We had the great benefit of meeting with some of these franchisors who gave some great information for those of you who may decide that you might want to be a franchisee. So you're thinking of starting a business. Now, one thing you may not have considered, but is actually a very useful and popular option, is business coaching. Now, these people can help you from many, many different ways and also can help if you want to be a franchisee. We spoke to Ian Cristello from Action Coach, who actually gives quite a lot of good advice. Pay attention.
Business owners are making contact with us because business isn't easy. We didn't learn it at school. Just because you're a great architect doesn't mean you're great at the business of business. And because of this, over 90% of UK businesses are failing every 10 years. So, but not just that. Not only do we help businesses to succeed, but we help them to do really, really well, so that the owner, gains all of the things and the life that they dreamt of when they first got into business for themselves. So why would somebody choose, one of the top franchises in the UK as opposed to, simply doing it themselves? And it's really interesting. There was a book written quite a while ago by a guy called Michael E. Gerber. And what Michael Gerber revealed in his book was that the success rate for non-franchise businesses in the first 5 years was only 20%. 4 out of 5 non-franchise business owners are failing in the first 5 years, but 75% of franchises are succeeding. And very much the same here in the UK. Every year the NatWest Bank British Franchise Association survey of the franchise network. Over 90% of franchise owners in the UK are reporting profitability in their business. So it's a fantastic thing in terms of stacking the odds in favour of you being successful. Over the last 20 years, we've helped tens of thousands of UK business owners. We can and we should and we need to be doing a heck of a lot more. But let me give you an example of the power of this for business owners. Recent example: Cheney Martin, a solopreneur down in Cheltenham. She was worried about the pandemic. She was worried about the recession. She couldn't see how she was going to survive. Over 90% of UK businesses fail every 10 years. Being in business isn't easy. It's not something that we've learnt at school. Being a great architect and being able to create great architecture doesn't mean that you're great at recruiting the best people in your firm.
So I'm sure you will agree that is some really useful and great information there from Ian and Action Coach. One of the other issues that I tend to come across with certain individuals is confidence. I know sometimes being in front of camera even can give you confidence issues, but there are other elements as well. Maybe you are changing into a new type of business. Maybe it's something you've never done before and you just feel as if you haven't got that confidence or the look. Have you ever heard of colour confidence coaches? They are incredibly useful. They can basically help you sort out your wardrobe, sort out your look, your colours, and help to give you that little bit of boost you need. Let's take it over to Claire Bannister, who will give us more information.
So what sets us apart from our competitors is that House of Colour really brings you in to the umbrella of what we do. We have an incredibly extensive training. We actually do 19 days training, and most of that is face-to-face with live bodies. So really, really thorough. We're a company that's been going for 36 years, so it's really well established, proven techniques that are based on science. So for us, that's the thing that makes us the most amazing company to work for. We are supportive and we are well established, so our training is just the best in the world. Our franchisees find working for House of Colour really rewarding because two things: they get the chance to run a really successful business under the umbrella of a supportive company, but also they get to do something that really makes a difference to their clients. It really helps them feel more confident about themselves, and that's an amazing thing to do.
It's always tricky, isn't it? People change, their life changes, and they've kind of forgotten how to be themselves. I find they come to me in a life change point.
Our franchisees come from all different types of backgrounds, but we are particularly looking at people who want to run businesses that are going to flourish. We're looking for business-focused people who enjoy fashion, enjoy style, but also enjoy having that connection with the general public and helping them grow in their own selves.
If your passion is to inspire confidence in others, helping them to have healthier self-views of themselves, then why not consider becoming a House of Colour franchisee? House of Colour has over 36 years experience in assisting others, using the best colour and styling systems, tailored for all genders and ages. You too can realise your dream of running your own rewarding business, whilst at the same time assisting people to be empowered to be their best. For more information, visit www.houseofcolour.co.uk. With people spending more time at home, it's more important than ever that we enjoy our surroundings. At Kitchen Makeovers, we bring kitchens back to life by utilising the existing units to give a fresh new look at an affordable price. Our kitchens are UK manufactured with hundreds of colour and style combinations to choose from, all installed by our highly skilled fitters. Franchise opportunities are also available across the UK. For further information, please visit kitchenmakeovers.co.uk. Ever thought of setting up an e-commerce business and building a second income? Not knowing where to start is what holds most people back. We've helped over 700 e-commerce store owners to build their own successful internet-based businesses. We automate 90% of the cumbersome tasks, leaving you the time to enjoy life. For more information, visit www.harmonresales.com. We are proud to reveal the best-kept secret in the Derbyshire Peak District. Venture along a leafy lane, and almost by chance you'll happen across somewhere rather special. Lucille House, a 4-star hotel located within the heart of the Peak District National Park. A great spot for a relaxing escape. We aim to offer our guests a relaxing experience with quality service and beautiful food in an unpretentious and friendly environment. For more information, please visit www.lucillehouse.co.uk. Now, many things changed during lockdown, and one of the big areas that saw a real increase was actually self-employment and having your own business. Well, what is dropshipping, and how do I get into dropshipping, and how are people making money from dropshipping? Dropshipping is where basically you're pretty much like an agent, so somebody else will store the products and ship them. It's just really for you to sell those products. Well, we spoke to a wonderful man who gave us more information.
My name is Zed Urshid, CEO and founder of Raynes Resales Limited. Raynes Resales Limited is the company behind the technology of Dropsys. And Dropsys is really a platform that allows clients and suppliers, e-commerce sellers, i.e. clients and suppliers, to connect with each other. And for clients, offering really a streamlined and simple process to source products, list products, order management, taking away a lot of that cumbersome tasks that come with e-commerce store management. So our company's been around 6.5 years. And really, the first 4 years you could say was, first maybe 3 years actually, that would be more fair, would be more, you could say, research development, fine tuning our systems or processes, making it more streamlined for clients before we start attracting clients. And then around about 3.5 years ago, we started really marketing, and before it was more friends and family, and then we started marketing the business and putting it out there that this is what we do, come and have a chat with us. And when we did that, we started to see really, really strong growth. So I believe like from about 2 years ago to the previous year, we had about 1,500% growth, which is like completely uncommon in any business industry to see a 1,500% growth. And then from last year to this year again, we've seen exponential growth. Really the growth has been stemmed through really the system that we've built on Dropsys, which is connecting all our suppliers and our clients together, and really making that as streamlined, as simple as possible for clients to manage their business, which is what's attracting to them, because as I mentioned already, it's freeing up that time. Okay, so you can go and you can spend 60-70 hours a week in finding products, listing products, managing your orders, or you can implement some sort of system like ours, and then it maybe only requires 1, 2, 3 hours a week sort of thing to manage your business, and because we've taken care of 80-90% of those cumbersome tasks. Think about finding and sourcing products. Like for us, we went to a lot of trade shows. I remember there was one in England we went to, and it was open, like I'd be there as soon as the doors open at 8 a.m. and probably one of the last ones to leave that trade show over that weekend. Over that weekend, we picked up maybe 70 to 80 different business cards by simply asking the question, do you offer dropshipping services? This wasn't a dropshipping trade show, this was a supplier and manufacturer trade show. And we picked up contacts across Germany, Italy, of course the UK, and many other countries and regions. A common question that we get asked quite often is, what is dropshipping? And the simple answer to that is, dropshipping is a business model where you are selling your product first and then buying your product after. Okay, now let me break that down for you. We're used to a business model where we are buying, where a seller, a retail shop or e-commerce seller, you're buying the product from your supplier first and then you're selling it. With dropshipping, you're selling it first and then you're buying it. So that's the simplest way to frame it, okay? And really what it does is it takes away a lot of that investment level required to actually store products and stock products, because you're getting that sale first from your customer, and then you're telling your supplier, this needs shipped directly to my customer. And it's such a simple business model to manage, because you're not having to pick products, package products, ship them out. You're not taking care of any of that. That's all down to your supplier to manage and look after. And with a low entry point, it just gives people that flexibility and that freedom that they can work from anywhere. And if someone was to really get started in the dropshipping industry, simple answer to that would be, you need to find the products that you think will work well within your business. So do your research into an industry that you want to sell in, whether it be electronics or toys or jewelry, whatever that might be. Find the suppliers in that industry. Ask if they offer a dropshipping-based business model. Find either marketplaces or your own website that you want to sell across, and then figure out how you're going to list those products and sell those products. And really, another common question we get asked is, like, why shouldn't I store the products myself and then sell the products, right? That just goes back to a previous comment I made, whereas what you're doing with that is you're not entering the dropshipping industry, then you're entering maybe a self-fulfillment industry where you're buying the products, you're tying up a lot of that cash into your inventory, then you don't know if that inventory is going to sell afterwards. Whereas through dropshipping, you don't have that risk of, is my inventory going to sell, or am I going to have to reduce the price on this and sell it at a loss because it's not moving off the shelves. And then of course you've got your storage costs, your packaging costs, your wage. If you add up the rent rates, add up all of the extra expenses that you're adding to your business by storing products, you can easily just wipe out thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of pounds over the course of the year by removing those expenses and simply having it shipped direct from your supplier to your customer by simply asking the question to them.
Let me take you back to your school days. Did you enjoy science? I have to admit it wasn't my favourite subject, but actually I didn't have really interesting and engaging science teachers. Where am I going with this? Well, we got to meet a lady called Cressida Bullock, Now, she really is a science teacher with fun, and she's created a wonderful business called Fun Science. What is fun about it is that she has a franchise model, and basically, if you're into science, you can get the next generation interested in science, but in a fun way. So just imagine you've got a child's birthday party, and all of a sudden, there's bubbles, there's bangs, there's excitement. But what it does is it engages children. And I do certainly wish that Cressida was about when I was doing science at school.
So since the pandemic, I think people have had a lot of time to think about what they really want to be doing with their lives and their work-life balance. So for a lot of people, they've been turning to the idea that maybe they've had for a while of starting up their own business. But for some people, that can seem quite daunting. There's a lot to do when you start a business, lots of startup costs. And so turning to a franchise might help to alleviate some of those worries. You've got a support network with a franchise. You've got other franchisees to help you out. You've got the support of the franchisor as well that you can ask questions to. So you don't feel quite so much like you're on your own. And also there are a lot of costs associated with starting up a business. So you'd have to pay for a website designer, all of your SEO, you'd have to get an email address sorted, all of the marketing. You wouldn't have any images that you could use from you doing that service before because it's a completely brand new business. Whereas with a franchise, all of those things have already been paid for. So the website's already been paid for, the email address, your domain, a lot of the marketing will have been done for you. So it can actually work out cheaper to start up a franchise rather than to go it alone. So children will be learning a range of different things through our clubs. So some of it is to do with the national curriculum, but also a lot of it goes above and beyond that, just for their own interests. So we have topics on space, but we also have more niche topics, such as spinning courses is one that we did recently. And the children do seem to retain the information, I think, because it's all practical. There's absolutely no reading, no writing. They're getting to do things, not just watch things. And that really helps children to learn and to remember. So they're getting this really great foundation so that hopefully when they go on to secondary school, some of these concepts that previously wouldn't have been introduced to them at that age, they don't seem quite so alien and they seem exciting and interesting. And hopefully that will follow through to those children then being able to get careers in STEM fields in the future. So for anybody wanting to start a franchise with Fun Science, what we'd say to them is initially ask all the questions that you want. So get in touch with us, ask all the questions you've got, look on our website, look at our prospectus. You can talk to other franchisees as well if you want to. You can even come and watch a birthday party to check that it's definitely for you. From that point, once you decide that you do want to go ahead, we can do it if you want to go ahead in a few months, that's absolutely fine. If you want to go ahead in a year, or if you want to start a bit sooner, that's absolutely fine. What we do is there is an application process. So once you've gone through that and passed it, we would start the marketing in your area so that once you do start, you've got customers ready and waiting for you. There's then a training process. So we'd arrange all of your training, make sure we get all of your science equipment to you, and just make sure you're really happy with everything before you start. And from then, we take it from there. We keep doing ongoing support with you and just help you to start doing those workshops, birthday parties, and clubs in your local area. We've worked hard to build a really great reputation across the whole of the UK, particularly in the areas where we do already have branches. We've got a fantastic reviews all over the internet. We've worked really hard to make sure all of our lesson plans are really well written and really well structured as well. So we have to have the right person come to join us in our network. So some of the best franchisees that we've had have been people that have worked in schools before. So that's teachers, teaching assistants, people who've had other roles within the school, who've become a little bit disillusioned with working within a school. There's a lot of pressure when you work in a school, and they were the people that loved the teaching side of things, but weren't so keen on the paperwork. So we've had some fantastic franchisees come out of schools, but also we've had people that don't have an education background at all. So that's people with a drama background perhaps, or something completely different. What we always say is you need to be the kind of person that would be described as enthusiastic or passionate. We always say that it doesn't matter too much if you don't have much of a science background, because we can teach that. But enthusiasm is something that can't be taught. So if you're the sort of person that kind of doesn't think you could drum up the enthusiasm to be in front of a group of children and make them excited about science, then you're not the person that we're looking for. We want someone that can stand up in front of that group of children, and just from the first moment before they even start the experiment, the children are thinking, yes, this is exciting and I can't wait to see what this person's going to do.
Road Architects know what it takes to have a career with a good home life. The secret is having your own architecture practice and also being part of a brand that helps your business to thrive. If you are an architect, could you be our next franchisee? For further information, please visit www.prideroadfranchise.co.uk. If your passion is to inspire confidence in others, helping them to have healthier self-views of themselves, then why not consider becoming a House of Colour franchisee? House of Colour has over 36 years' experience in assisting others, using the best colour and styling systems tailored for all genders and ages. You too can realise your dream of running your own rewarding business, whilst at the same time assisting people to be empowered to be their best. For more information, visit www.houseofcolour.co.uk. Fun Science is looking for new branch owners across the UK. Start your own business running science-themed parties, workshops and clubs for children aged 3 to 11. Every day is different and you have complete flexibility to make work fit around your lifestyle. If you want to launch rockets and mix up potions for a living, visit www.fun-science.org.uk for more information. No Letting Go is an industry-leading provider of reports to the lettings market. We've built our reputation over 15 years, delivering outstanding customer service to landlords and letting agents with accurate and compliant inventory reports delivered through our national network of highly trained inspectors. We're already 86 strong. We're always looking for brilliant people to join us as franchise owners. Visit us at www.nolettinggo.co.uk.
The property market is booming, and one area which is of significant importance is the inventory. Now, I know a little bit about this because I used to have to compile them when I worked at an estate agency. And trust me, if you don't get the inventory correct, it can cost you thousands should and if a tenant move out. It's got to be correct and it's got to be precise. But maybe you are one of them people who has an eye for detail. And this is where there is now an emerging booming market in inventory production. We spoke to Nick Lyons of Not Letting Go to talk a little bit more about his franchise model.
Well, in my opinion, we're in a the UK is an island. We all love our property. We all have this sort of passion around property. And of course, in the UK, it's very expensive to buy property, so the rental market is enormous. And growing rapidly. It has been growing for many, many years. We tend to sort of look a little bit at the sales side. That tends to pick up in the press a lot more. But underlyingly, the rental market, the buy-to-let market, etc., is booming. I think one of the questions that many people ask is what are the benefits of using of getting involved in franchising in the inventory market as opposed to starting a business yourself. And of course, I guess this is all about franchising itself. And one of the big advantages of franchising, it means that you can transfer from a business. So if you're not in the property industry and you've been in a teacher or you've been in IT or anything else, what you've got is a whole series of soft skills. And a franchise organisation looks for those skills. What I can do is I can give you all the information related to property. I can teach you the industry. A franchise organisation gives you that background, gives you that backstory, teaches you everything there is to know about the property industry. What you bring to the organisation as all those soft skills that you've built up over the years. I guess a question that everyone would ask would, why would I come to No Letting Go? Why would I not go to one of my competitors, for example, or a different organisation? Well, I think I guess the thing to come across with No Letting Go is not only the passion of the management, but the passion of the whole company. We love this business. I mean, we truly love this business. We love the people within it. It's not easy. You're dealing with, we've got nearly 90 offices. You're dealing with an enormous amount of people on the ground. You're dealing with a market that's almost like running a big taxi firm to some extent because you're dealing with people moving in and out of property. But you know what? You have to be passionate to enjoy that. about what you're looking for. We don't want anyone to come into the business that doesn't really understand what they're coming into. Once you've gone through that and you've pretty much sort of had that deep conversation, then we sort of move on to the next stage. The next stage is really then looking at the numbers, whether they suit you, whether they align with your aspirations, dreams, that sort of thing, whether you've got the relevant suitability, skill sets, what we might have to teach you, how we would teach you, what training we provide, all of those different things. And that's the second stage. And then if we've got through all of that side of things and everything's looking fantastic and everybody's thinking, yeah, this is the business for me, etc., and then the last stage is really about meeting up with other members of the team here in our office. And really this is an opportunity for you guys to get a feel for, do I like these people? Do I like, do we like you? Do you like us? We've all got to work together in a sort of long-term basis. So, like anything, you want to go into a business where you enjoy working with people.
So, you may have qualified in architecture, you're straight out of university, and you're thinking about actually setting up your own business, but it's daunting, isn't it? Because, yeah, you've learned all about architecture, but business, well, that's a whole different beast. So how do you go about it? Well, you could just set up and hope for the best, but you could actually take some very useful advice from somebody called Raynes, who owns Pride Road Architects, who has a real pedigree of her own and knows what she's doing. That way then, when you set up your business, you're getting the correct advice right from the start.
I'm Raynes, CEO of Pride Road, the architectural practice franchise, and our franchise allows architects to become franchisees. The benefits of becoming a franchisee with us is that you have access to a communal portfolio. We've got an established website with great SEO. You've got all the tried and tested systems, and you've got some amazing support and backup, both on the technical side, but also in marketing and sales. In fact, one of our franchisees says, being part of Pride Road is like having a power pack on your back. If anyone's thinking about joining the franchise, we've got a process, and the process is, we'll start off by you talk to me, we'll have a series of conversations, you'll meet the team, and if we think it's a good fit, we'll start taking you through the rest of it. So first of all, you need to be a UK qualified architect to join and enjoy meeting people. Then we will look at your area and see if it stacks up as a territory. I'll give you the tools to do a business plan. We will ask for a deposit, and then we'll look at contracts. So that's called the franchise agreement. Expect to pay between £10,000 and £15,000 for your territory. Once you've signed up, you buy that for 5 years, and then we'll take you through an intensive but fun 10-day training program. And with all the support, templates, systems, you'll be good to go. So some people think, why become a franchisee when you're already a qualified architect? Well, you're taught at architecture school how to be an architect, but not how to run a business. So you've got two options. You either go into a large practice and spend 40, 50, 60 hours working, or you set up on your own. Joining the franchise is a third option. You can set up your own practice, but under our umbrella. Since launching in 2016, our franchise has grown well. We're now at 5 franchisees across the UK. Our franchisee in Bournemouth is now in her second year. She's got VAT registered and she's got about 42 projects. And we continue to talk on a regular basis and look at the next stages of her growth. One of the drivers of setting up the franchise was about changing the industry. So I'm passionate about seeing female architects thrive. At the moment, it takes 7 years to qualify as an architect, and then only 42% are still practicing after the age of 30. So what I'm looking to do is provide a forum for returning mothers, but also widening it out to encourage other demographics of society, like BME, gay, trans. We really want architects to have their own thriving franchise.
After seeing a volcano lose its head a few times and then having to eat a fish's head, I desperately needed something to take my mind off it all. Paddy is taking me for a drink. The locals have recommended the shokshu, a Japanese hard liquor, which is made at Meiji Guro Satsumo Shuhu Shokshu Factory and Museum.